Vice President has filed a second perjury complaint against her alleged former aide, Ramil Madriaga, who has also claimed to be the Vice President's bagman. Let's discuss the merits of complaints with their legal counsel, Attorney Paulo Panelo. Welcome to Political Beat, Attorney Panelo, sir.
Good evening, Lord. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's start with the second perjury complaint. Anong specifics doon sa statements ni Madriaga's supplemental affidavit yung kiniklaim ninyo na false?
Actually, Lord, virtually all kasi ng statements niya sa supplemental affidavit niya false. But for purposes of tonight, we can focus on yung critical talaga, which is, sabi niya, diba, he disbursed confidential funds, not in 11 days as reported, but in less than 24 hours. So, natuwa kami dito kasi in the first Madriaga affidavit, hindi niya masyadong binigyan ng detalye itong deliveries eh. So ang hirap i-verify. Pero itong sa supplemental affidavit, he gave details. So yun, we were able to research, we were able to verify. At dito sa second perjury complaint, linabas namin yung mga rason kung bakit imposible yung mga sinasabi niya. So number one, ang sabi niya, from DepEd, where he got the money with these new companions, dumiretso sila sa Cabuyao, Laguna to deliver a bag or two containing 30 to 35 million.
Ito yung may SNR na wala sa immediate vicinity.
Sabi niya, Cabuyao, Laguna, tanaw niya yung SNR, walang SNR mall doon. From the first delivery, punta siyang Nomo Basho in Tomas Morato. He said he arrived there midnight. He saw Attorney Reynold Monzayac, the former OVP spokesperson, sinenyasan na sa taas i-deliver. Ang problema,
lang pala.
That's one. Pero more importantly, nung gabing yon, may private Christmas party sa Nomo Basho. Sarado siya to the public at magkakakilala yung mga tao doon, napakasikip, and they've attested yung owner, pati yung nag-organize ng party mismo, na wala si Attorney Monzayac doon, at two, wala silang napansin na dalawang mamang may dalang duffel bag doon.
Nakapansin-pansin yun, ano?
Oo, dahil napakasikip eh. We showed pictures of the party to show na pagka may dumating doon na taong hindi taga-Christmas party nila, mapapansin mo talaga. Tapos matatamaan mo pa yung mga tao actually sa sobrang sikip. And then yung third...
Yung painting.
Third delivery sa Ombudsman Building kinabukasan December 21. Ang intended beneficiary kasi noon is si Attorney Ryan Kilala, who is Assistant Special Prosecutor of the Ombudsman, or si Ombudsman Martires. So the thing with that is, si Attorney Ryan Kilala, matalik na kaibigan nitong si Madriaga, and nakapunta na siya sa bahay niya many times, si Madriaga, sa bahay ni Kilala. So sabi namin, highly improbable na doon pa dadalhin sa ombudsman, meron pang iiwan yung susi sa kotse, napakadaling dalhin sa bahay niya or tawagan niya, mag-meet tayo somewhere discreet.
Kasi work from home sila.
Tapos, more importantly, work from home din si Attorney Kilala on that day and for the entire month of December. So, talagang improbable. Si Ombudsman Martires naman, napabalitaan natin na wala pala siya sa bansa nung araw na yun.
Okay. Tapos there's issue din yung si Madriaga daw yung nagbigay ng painting na yun. Na nakita sa Zoom, among many others. Pero, okay, sinasabi nitong si Madriaga na more importantly, yung testimonya ni Gina Acosta kanina ay tumutugma doon sa narrative ni Madriaga at pati na rin sa narrative ng yung witness from the land bank sa impeachment. At least yung mga detalyeng yun ay kaya bang ma-override nito mga binanggit mo?
Tingin ko kasi, sabi ni VP Sara doon sa kanyang second perjury complaint, bukod doon sa mga impormasyon na publicly available na, walang madagdag si Madriaga na detalye na bago na hindi namin mabasag dahil impossible, improbable. Like itong sinabi niya, yung date na December 20, kasi yun yung araw na release ng Land Bank yung funds kay Gina Acosta. Parang this information was already available from the House hearings, House Committee on Good Governance, the first committee that investigated itong confidential funds. Doon din lumabas na binigay ni Gina Acosta yung funds kay Colonel La Chica. Doon din lumabas yung amounts. So, bukod doon kasi, so ang tingin naming nangyari dito is because they wanted a person to testify on how confidential funds were misused. They built a narrative based on already publicly available information, which would have been fine if he had supplied details that had substantiation. So kunyari, kung nag-deliver siya dun sa Laguna politician, di sana nabigay niya yung pangalan man lang or nakapagpakita siya ng pictures, contemporaneous text messages about yung instructions, pero wala siyang mapakita.
Hindi niya raw binubura.
Ha?
Hindi niya raw binubura yung mga text message sa phone, sabi niya.
Well, hanggang ngayon, hindi pa napapakita. And critical yan because as early as March, we already filed the first perjury complaint. As early as March, sinasabi na merong text messages. Pero despite the opportunities given by the prosecutor's office of the gig for him to produce these text messages, hanggang ngayon wala pa rin.
Me playing devil's advocate, kunyari. Ano kaya yung dahilan? The prosecution could have very well questioned Gina Acosta last August 17, about yung relasyon, to use to corroborate the testimony of Ramil Madriaga, but it did not grab the opportunity. Sa tingin mo bakit?
Well,
duda sila.
Tingin ko, ang speculation ko dyan is even the prosecution is convinced that Madriaga is not credible. And that's why you get statements from the prosecution team na sinusukat pa daw nila kung i-represent nila. Matatandaan natin nung prinesenta yan sa House Justice Committee, he was dubbed as the missing link, the star witness of the prosecution. Ito na yung magpapatunay na winaldas talaga yung pera ng confidential funds. Pero here you have the prosecution, yun nga, parang medyo nagda-damage control sila. Sinasabi nila, baka hindi na kailangan kasi sapat na yung iprepresenta namin. But to me, that's very telling na itong tao na binild up nyo, na malapit kay VP, nagdala ng milyong-milyong pera para sa kanya, di umano, biglang hindi nyo iprepresenta.
And siguro yung ng iba, they're hinging there on the 4 dark duffel bags, each containing 30 to 35 million daw. Oo. Yun ang common denominator sa testimonya ni Acosta at ni Madriaga. Okay. Pero sinasabi ninyo palagi na hindi naman talaga close si Madriaga like he purports himself to be or like he presents himself to be kasi ang inyong proof ay kung close siya, bakit kailangan pa siyang magpaalam to take the place of one guest doon sa inauguration?
Yeah.
Can you
kasi ang napapakita ni Madriaga so far na pictures and videos are pictures during the campaign. So, hindi naman dinedeny ni VP Sara na naging taga-suporta niya tong si Ramil Madriaga, binuo niya yung EC Pilipinas. Ang dinedeny ng VP natin is, number one, hindi niya inutos na gawin ni Madriaga itong EC Pilipinas.
mag-form ng...
Pangalawa, dinedeny din ni VP Sara na beyond these routine campaign interactions, na meron silang ibang ugnayan. And it's very telling na beyond those pictures during the campaign, wala siyang mapakitang iba. Kasi wala talagang relasyon.
Yung bumati pa raw ng happy birthday.
Tingin ko nga, Lord, yun yung ebidensya mismo na hindi sila magkakilala eh. Because I don't know kung na-requestan ka na niyan na bumati ng mga hindi mo kakilala na video, diba?
Kinakabahan ako sa ganyan.
So, tingin ko, yun mismo yung patunay na hindi sila magkakilala dahil if otherwise, she could have just called him, diba? To greet him a happy birthday.
Pero was he a member of her, kumbaga, security force? Member talaga siya? Na-confirm yun?
Hindi po talaga.
Hindi talaga? I see.
And we have testimonies from the PSG, the former PSG commanders during the time of PRRD na sinasabi niyang na formally assign siya doon. Lahat sila sinasabi, di namin kilala yan. Meron din kaming PSG certification na nagsasabing walang Madriaga na formally assigned or ever connected dito. Sa VP SPG, ganun din, roster of troops, wala din siya. walang may kilala sa kanya sa security forces na nagbabantay kay PRRD at pati kay VP Sara.
Ang tindi, umiyak pa siya di ba? Naging sentimental pa siya, biglang nag-breakdown sa gitna kasi supposedly parang may naramdaman daw siyang betrayal of sorts. Parang ganun. Magkakailala may sinabi yata dati si La Chica about Madriaga. Magkakailala ba silang dalawa?
Si Colonel La Chica mismo sinabi niya hindi niya kilala si Madriaga, he's never met him. Pero ang may kakilala kay Madriaga ay si Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco. So in his affidavit, ang paliwanag ni Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco ay itong si Madriaga was part of an external service provider that taught some security-related course for the PSG, pero it was not an official activity. It was just held in the PSG.
I see.
So after that, si Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco was designated as the training commandant of the PSG at linapitan siya nitong ni Madriaga to volunteer to teach in the PSG the courses that he said in his affidavit na tinuro niya sa PSG. At ang sabi ni Nolasco is, sorry, hindi namin pwedeng tanggapin yung alok mo because we have in-house subject matter experts. Hindi ko kumukuha ng outsiders. So yun, doon pa lang napapatunayan na hindi talaga taga-PSG, hindi talaga insider itong si Madriaga. And more critically, Lord, ito, pinaka-important na hindi ko maintindihan bakit hindi masyadong pinipick up ng media. There's a text message from Madriaga to Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco dahil nga magkakilala sila, soliciting false testimony from Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco. Ang sinasabi niya, Colonel Nolasco, sabihin mo na lang na yung confidential fund sa akin mo binigay, ako na lang magpapaliwanag kung anong ginawa ko doon kasi mag-state witness ako. Parang sinasabi niya, kayo makakasuhan kayong perjury, so bumaliktad ka na lang, sabihin mo sa akin mo na lang ibinigay para hindi ka makulong. Ako, nagiging state witness ako, don't worry about me. So, yun, it provides motive kung bakit niya ginagawa itong false testimony niya against Vice President. Gusto niyang makawala doon sa current na kaso niya, which is kidnapping for ransom.
He's also claiming closeness to the father. May basehan ba yun? Pareho sila nagmumotor.
Wala talaga kasi ang main witness natin sa usaping yan is we were able to secure the affidavit of Assistant Secretary Lisette Marquez. She was the appointment secretary during the time of PRRD, and she attests na for the entire presidency of Rodrigo Duterte, wala siyang nakilalang Madriaga, walang kamiting si PRRD na Madriaga, walang record na ganun. Kahit na personal or private meeting, kung malapit ka talaga sa Pangulo, makikilala ka nila dahil silang nag-organize, nagmamanage ang schedule niya, wala talaga.
Meron akong stupid question from a non-lawyer.
Okay.
What do you gain from consolidating the two complaints of perjury?
Okay.
Tapos bakit hindi na lang gamitin yung use the contradictions doon sa supplemental affidavit to strengthen the first case?
No, that's exactly what we're trying to do. To us, we feel that the supplemental affidavit proves that the first affidavit was perjurious. So instead of letting the Office of the City Prosecutor decide it separately, para sa amin, mas advantageous kung sabay para tignan ni Fiscal's Office holistically na ang pruweba namin that the first Madriaga affidavit is perjurious is not only what we filed the first time, but pati itong pangalawa. Kasi connected naman talaga siya. Overlapping witnesses, overlapping evidence, related allegations. So, yeah, and the truth of the matter is, we wanted to file this second perjury complaint also to put pressure on the Department of Justice. Kasi alam naman natin that if they could, for political reasons, i-dismiss nila ito. Kasi syempre, pagka na-dismissan si VP Sara ng perjury complaint versus Madriaga, makakasakit ito sa kanya, di ba? So, para to put pressure na, hindi, gawin niyo lang yung trabaho nyo, we're not asking for any special favors. Here's rule on the merits. Oh, here's another 750-page complaint. Document-driven, supported by 12 corroborating witnesses. Ito na yung ebidensya namin kay Madriaga. Subukan yung i-dismiss pa yan.
Sinabi ninyo sa isang interview rin na Madriaga is a kind of Trojan horse, no? Kapag ginawa mong witness at maari maging star witness pa ng defense pag pinaupo. Okay. Pero useful lang daw ang Trojan horse kapag alam mo yung nasa loob. How confident are you na si Madriaga won't reveal something the defense had not anticipated or anyone had anticipated?
No, kasi kami, and hopefully anyone who's read the two complaints should by now be convinced na wala talagang katotohanan yung sinasabi niya. Beyond yung taga-suporta siya ni VP sa campaign na napakarami namang taong ganon noong 2022, wala talagang katotohanan yung mga sinasabi niya. So, kahit ano pang sabihin niya, alam naming mababasag namin. It's either magbibigay siya ng detalye na conveniently and fatally unverifiable or magbibigay siya ng detalye na madali naming mababasag.
Okay. Yung complaints na ito ba, Attorney Panelo, is it primarily about obtaining a conviction or binanggit mo na rin dati, you sort of course, wala kang kinalaman sa impeachment sa defense, ano? Pero kamo nakikipag-usap ka rin, nakikipag-coordinate ka pa minsan-minsan. Hindi ko lang alam kung sa anong antas. Or is it about undermining Madriaga's credibility, if ever, before the Senate?
Well, the primary objective is always to hold him accountable. Kasi sabi ko nga dati pa, kapag kasinalang mo yan sa House man or sa Senate impeachment court, pagka napatunayang nagsisinungaling siya, wala namang consequence yun eh. 'Di ba? Hindi lang siya papaniwalaan, pero walang kulong yun. Kahit na pinapatotohanan mo under oath yung mga kasinungalingan, 'di ba? So number one, you have to hold them accountable. Now, if it has the effect of also undermining his credibility and showing the people na this is the kind of impeachment effort that VP Sara's enemies are lodging against her, then so be it. Kasi kailangan yan, isipin mo, binoto ka ng napakadaming tao, binigyan ka ng tiwala ng 30 plus million, the most number of votes ever received for the position. Tapos, ang gagamiting witness laban sa'yo, hindi nagsasabi ng totoo. So parang, ganon sila ka-desperado, ganon sila ka-malisyoso. Diba?
Alright. On that note, abangan ang susunod na kabanata. Maraming salamat sa oras mo, Attorney Paulo Panelo. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Alright. Tsaka ko na tatanungin kung ano yung mga fashion tips na nakuha natin mula kay Attorney Sal.